Welcome everyone. We're going to just go through a quick tutorial on what you need to know to make sure that you're set up both technically and logistically to host a watch party for the Global Encounter. We're really excited that you've registered as a watch party, and we can't wait to see you online on May 21st and 22nd. First, we want to just make sure that you're familiar with Zoom. We are using Zoom as our platform for sharing information with you for these live stream events on the 21st and 22nd. So you'll receive a link via email, or the person who registered the watch party will receive a link via email for a Zoom meeting for our live stream. On the day of the live stream, you'll just click on that link and access Zoom. You don't need to have a Zoom account. Anyone with the link can access and get into the meeting. Once you're in Zoom, you'll see some basic controls down here on the bottom of your screen. This microphone button that says mute is where you can mute and unmute yourself. For our purposes on these live streams, we're going to keep everyone except the presenters muted. So if you do unmute yourself, one of our hosts will probably go in and just mute you so that we keep all of the audio clear for those who are presenting. Then you can also see the start video button. I'll hit this and you'll just see me pop up here. Hello. We do want you to have your audio or your camera turned on if possible at certain points during the live stream. We'd like to be able to see who's joining us and where you're joining us from. So being able to turn on your camera will be beneficial. In addition, this button that says chat pops open and closed the chat menu over here. We will be adding links and information to the chat, so you can watch here for more information as we go through the two live stream sessions. Using Zoom is fairly basic, and you all have probably become experts at this over the course of the last few years. If you do have any questions, if you go to the resources page on the IM website underneath Global Encounter, there is a tech FAQ that will walk you through some of the other basic settings that you might need to check out. For instance, if you hover over next to either the microphone or the stop video button and click on these carrots, this will pop up and you can actually select which microphone or which speakers you're using. Likewise, here you can select which camera you're using. So you may need to check that out in advance and make sure that you have a setup so that everyone coming to your watch party can both hear and see everything that's happening on Zoom. If you are using Zoom for your watch party in a sanctuary or another large space that's connected to where your computer is connected to a projector, you may want to have a second laptop available or some other device so that you can type things into the chat. During the two live streams, we will have IM staff posting questions in the chat, and we would love for everyone to be able to respond to those questions. So if your setup requires a second laptop for that, you can simply join the meeting a second time from another device. The same link will work, and you can sort of join as many times as you need in order to be able to type things into the chat and respond to questions. For live translation during the live streams, we're going to be using a web-based app called Wordly. And so both at the beginning of the live stream sessions and sort of in the chat throughout the session, we'll be sure to post a link to join Wordly. You can also see the QR code here. So this QR code will be up in the sort of pre-session announcements that will be playing 15 minutes prior to the start of each session. So you can simply scan the QR code or click on the link that we put into the chat. individuals at your watch party are able to join this via their phones. So if everyone wants to join Wordly to access translation or transcription on their own, they can certainly do that, or you can access it via the link and put it up next to your computer. Once you click the link or scan the QR code, you'll be taken to a web browser and you'll see what is in step 2 here. So you can choose the language that you would like to see the text in. There are a number of options available, so certainly English, French, Spanish, Arabic, etc. And then click the Attend button. Once you do that, you'll be taken to this window where you will actually see the live transcription as it comes through. We've had some folks ask about sort of screen real estate and how to be able to see everything. So I'm just going to show you what I would do on my setup, which is a sort of widescreen monitor display. And then you can play around with this on your own to see what sort of setup works best. But I'm going to bring up the Zoom meeting here. So I have the Zoom meeting open. You can see our Wordly chat bot is in the meeting, and that's how the transcription occurs. I have the chat open over here so that I can see any other links or information that is posted during the live stream. And then here's the Wordly transcription. What I'm going to do is just simply resize this and pull it down to the bottom so that I can see both the transcription itself and Zoom. If you need to have these words appear a little bit bigger, depending on whether you're on a Mac or on Windows, Command or Control and the plus button is typically what will zoom in on a browser window. And so that'll make this text a little bit bigger. It also makes the padding around the text bigger. So again, you can kind of just play with this and see what works best. What I might do is actually drag this up a little bit so I can see a little bit more of the text, and then just click on the Zoom meeting window so that this portion is on top, but I can still see the live transcription coming through on the bottom. And obviously, if you have chosen a language other than English, even though I'm speaking English, you would see this text coming through in French, Spanish, etc. We'll just pop over here and do that quickly. So we'll choose French and hit apply. And then when I speak from now on, you'll see the translation actually coming through in French, even though I am speaking in English. And that is Wordly. I want to quickly just run through some best practices for hosting a watch party. These are also included on the IM website. If you click on Global Encounter in the banner at the top of the IM website and then scroll down and go to the resources page, there's a separate resources page for watch parties, and you'll find these hosting tips along with a lot of other information included on that watch party resources page. But we encourage you to just create an environment that's conducive to sitting for 90 minutes or so and hearing and seeing what's happening on Zoom. So you want to make sure that your space is clean, comfortable, that you've got enough seating, that everyone can see either the screen or whatever you're projecting or displaying this meeting onto. We'd love for you to consider decorating the venue. So this is the celebration of IM's 210th anniversary. So IM has been doing ministry around the world for 210 years. So we encourage you to decorate in a way that helps us to celebrate this major milestone in IM's life. And then, of course, engagement. We want you to encourage people to be attentive, to listen, to hear the presentations, the stories that are told from IM Global servants and partners, but also feel free to facilitate discussion. If people have questions, if people want to to chat about something that they've heard, something that they've learned. We hope that you'll be there as a host to encourage that and to help foster those kinds of discussions. And of course, remember there are a number of items that you can download on the resources page, both within the Watch Party resources section and just in the resources section in general. There is a fill-in-the-blank game and some other activities. There's also at least one sort of lyrics sheet for a song that will be sung during one of the live streams. There's also a PDF recipe book that was put together by two of our global servants. So consider downloading those items, try out some of the recipes for your watch party, and make sure you have copies for everyone if possible, and just have fun with these items. And of course, these are just guidelines to help you through your hosting experience, but obviously you can adapt any of these things to fit your own group's dynamics and your own group's needs. At various times during the Global Encounter live streams, we'll be using a web-based app called Mentimeter to post questions to all of you as participants and to solicit your responses. So when it comes time to do that, we'll share a screen similar to this on Zoom, and you'll be able to scan a QR code or go to www.menti.com and enter a specific code, and then once you do, when we post questions, you'll be able to on your smartphone or mobile device or on your laptop type in or click on an answer, and then we'll see those answers pop up in real time. So this is just an example of responses to a multiple choice question where respondents could choose yes, no, or of course, I'm thinking about ice cream. There are also open-ended answers. So from time to time, we might ask you, who would you commit to praying for in the coming months as you help us to celebrate IM's 210 years of ministry. So you can type in a short response, and then we'll be able to see all of those short responses on the screen. And lastly, here are some other logistics for you to be aware of as we approach May 21st and 22nd. Again, you'll want to ensure that you have a setup where everyone can both hear and see. So I encourage you to play around and try this out in advance. So you can either set up your own Zoom meeting or just use your laptop or your computer to make sure that it's connected to a device or a screen that's large enough for people to be able to both see and hear what is happening. On the day of each of the two live stream sessions, you can join the Zoom link up to 15 minutes prior to the start of the session. And within those 15 minutes, we'll have some music playing in the background and some slides rotating that just give you some information. And that also provides the QR code and the link for Wordly so that you can begin to access that translation software. We do encourage you, even if your entire watch party is primarily English speaking, we encourage you to pull up Wordly anyway. We have 3 in-studio hosts for the Global Encounter events. One of those hosts will be speaking in English, one will be speaking in French, and one will be speaking in Spanish. So we want to give you this sort of immersive experience of what it's like to be in a place where people speak multiple languages, and we also want to encourage those who are participating from countries that are primarily Spanish and French speaking to feel welcomed in this event. So even if you are primarily English speaking, you'll want to have that translation up from Wordly so that you can see the translation when our hosts are speaking in either French or Spanish. Then also remember we will keep everyone muted during these 2 live stream sessions, but there may be times when we ask you to turn on your camera so that we can see who is joining and where you're joining from. After the 2 live stream sessions, we do have a number of breakout session options. We will email a set of links for these breakout sessions to the person who registered for the Global Encounter events. There are 6 breakout session options after each live stream session. So 6 breakout sessions after the session on May 21st and 6 breakout sessions after the session on May 22nd. These will be held in different Zoom meetings, so you'll have to end or get out of the primary live stream Zoom meeting and then click on the link provided by email for the corresponding breakout session that you want to attend. The breakout sessions are more informal, so you'll be in a room with a global servant or sometimes multiple global servants and perhaps an IM partner. You'll be able to chat informally, ask questions, and hear just a little bit about those global servants' ministries and how they are responding together for good around the world. And then lastly, recordings of both of the live stream events, so the 2 90-minute sessions on the 21st and 22nd, will be available to you as registered participants by 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on May 22nd. So this means if you want to host a watch party, but you can't gather people together to watch live when the sessions occur, you can certainly host a watch party after the fact and access both of the recordings and watch through the 2 90-minute live stream sessions. Links for those recordings, as well as a password to access the recordings, will be again emailed to the person who registered your watch party for the Global Encounter. Thanks so much for watching this short tutorial, and we look forward to seeing you on May 21st and 22nd as we come together to respond together for good and celebrate 210 years of ministry as International Ministries.